Oh my god. What? Yeah.
It's there, all set up. I'm just about to get started in a minute. Move some things around, and then we'll start this chat. Alright, so I'm gonna take off break.
Alright, I disconnected and reconnected. Is that better?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You hear me?
I can hear you. Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna go for a walk. Hello?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're. I think
I was
you're.
gonna go for a walk real quick.
Yeah, you had said that a few times, but I think you're also delayed because of the earbuds. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this show started. Take off the break. Take off starting. What is going on, everyone? Sorry, I've been having technical difficulties like all morning. I'm gonna go ahead and mute that and get us started today. How's everyone going? Or how's everybody doing, should I say?
I'm doing good.
See if we can get any chats going on in here.
I'm doing good.
Oh, wow.
What's up in the hood?
Huh, it's saying I'm dropping in frames.
Yo,
right
yo.
now. So hold on one sec. Let me see what that's about. What do I have open? Actually, I don't need the Discord open. It's still going to record. Don't want anything taken away from my processing power on here. So let me just check it out.
Yawn. Yo. Gamer here to post the most premium content possible.
You're going to really read out my description. It's funny.
Yeah, because it's super private, right?
Nah, I just thought it was funny. You're just going to read it out.
You know what else is pretty funny?
What, my face?
Do you know what else is pretty funny?
Oh, I don't know. I wonder
Mom?
what it is. Oh, wow. Man, that's funny. So, well, welcome to the stream. This is the first ever stream that I've done with like quite a decent setup. I'm having some like connectivity issues, and I've been having that like all morning while trying to like set this up because I was supposed to start this stream like at 12. It's now 1:07, but it's all good as long as I can get something going. Get some people in here to, introduce themselves as I introduce myself, and then I'll kind of go into a little bit of who I am and introduce my friends and why am I streaming? Why am I here? So, first things first, just to get the little cat out of the bag, I'm gonna end up saying my name a lot on here, especially like when I game with my close friend here. We're gonna call each other by our names. It's not like we have a big secret or identity to hide. But first off, my name is Jordan, and this is my channel, LEGITdeLIGHT. LEGITdeLIGHT is a gamer tag that I've had for many years on Xbox, and after I had stopped playing on the console, I kind of just brought that name tag with me onto different platforms like Steam or PlayStation or whatnot. So that's kind of the history of LEGITdeLIGHT here. But yeah, I kind of want to introduce somebody. So I have a friend here, a longtime friend of mine that I've gamed with since the good old Xbox 360 days in high school. This is my friend Waffle Face, also known as Leviathan Speaks on YouTube. Check out his content. I'll update my channel and have a link to his channel in the description. But hey, Curtis,
Is
you
anybody
wanna?
watching?
I see I got 2 viewers on here, so I got somebody. um,
Hello.
but even if not,
Is
it's
anybody
cool.
watching?
Um, Even if not, it's cool because they can always review or just catch up later. But yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself though.
Um,
I
Curtis.
got
oh,
it.
you know, I we should go into the stream chat if that makes sense. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Hello.
you.
Yep. Hello.
Son of a bit. Hello.
What, are you guys doing something or?
Oh yeah, we're streaming here.
Yeah, we're
Is
streaming
that
right
you?
now, just so people when they join, they know that he's streaming.
Yeah. So my fault. I kind of went to just a regular chat in Discord, but yeah. Is that you, Willie?
Ah, okay. Yeah. Well, I'd hope it's me.
Well, I can't tell because I got a new headphones, so everybody kind of sounds a little different.
No, we'll go for a walk. Yeah,
Here, get over that TV. Can you lower it down a bit?
yeah.
I'm Oh wow, is that what's? All
Hey,
right.
Jordan, are you still here in Cali or?
I couldn't hear. I thought I was hearing Curtis's mom.
You were. I was talking to her. Is it
Oh,
working properly now?
it should be. I mean, everything's working. It's just I don't know what's going on your end. Hold on, I'm gonna mute this real quick. So,
I will.
hey, real quick, Curtis, can you hear me? I was gonna say, when your mom comes in, do you mind muting your microphone? Yeah, but I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, you sound completely fine. Oh yeah. Earlier when you put your Bluetooth in. Yeah, earlier when you had put your Bluetooth in, it was just like choppy, and then it
Yeah,
was
they're
like
still in.
okay,
I'm still
and
using my
and it was
Bluetooth
delayed.
headphones.
That's why I was saying like it's probably the fact that you just went to your phone and on Bluetooth that the reception kind of got messed up. Uh, you know, it happens.
Yeah,
But yeah, so yeah, if you want to just kind
yeah.
of introduce yourself a little bit. Also, Willie, are you still there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You were quiet a little bit. So this is just a little kind of like introduction to streaming. Like for me, like I'm just opening up the channel for the first time on streaming. Um, so if you want to, you can introduce yourself to the chat if you want to be a regular on here. If not, it's cool. Just this is just a little kind of just like a talk stream for today. You know, I might do a little bit of gaming later on, but yeah, just kind of just opening the channel up for that. So if you want to introduce yourself, you are free to. If not, it's cool.
Okay. I'm Will. It's not much more than that, I guess.
He's another high school friend of mine. We've known each other since what, like since like freshman year, right?
2011,
2011, around that time.
2010, 2011,
I
somewhere around
feel
there.
like I feel like I met you much later because like the first person I was friends with was Paul, if you remember, and he was the one that introduced me to Curtis and everybody else. I didn't know anybody until
Yeah.
like later on. I think I met you through Curtis though, and I think I met everybody at besides Paul. I met everybody at the Gamers Club in high school. If you remember that.
Uh, well, I never went to the gamers club. I
No,
actually wasn't a part of any clubs at high school.
no, I
But
probably I probably just met you
I
just
Yeah,
think
you're
through
what
so
Curtis
cool.
and like maybe
really
Curtis's birthday
introduced
party.
us all was meeting up during zero period over at
Hmm.
the fucking
The benches.
maybe no, it was definitely school. I think it was just during, yeah, at the benches during zero period,
Hmm.
and lunch would have been where we met.
Oh, okay.
Maybe after school at the benches, but it was
I
definitely
can
at the benches.
I can definitely see after school. Oh wow. Oh man. So, kind of like how I was gonna kind of go over a little bit of like how I've met Curtis because I was kind of reminiscing this like earlier today, and what I remember is we it was my freshman year of high school, and you know I'm kind of just like finally getting into the gaming space because like for a long time I haven't even touched Xbox Live until like my freshman year of high school or even like late middle school because I was kind of like oh lord, I was kind of like sheltered from like gaming a bit. And this is like right after I played, this is 2011, so like
Yeah,
I had just played Dead Space 2 for the first time. I had it's like two discs that go onto the 360. I just played Halo 3 for the first time, even though I was like years like late to the game, but like, you know, for some reason my parents wouldn't buy me Halo 3 growing up, but you know, it just is what it was. And I get my first copy of Halo Reach. So this was like when the game was like already out for like a year because Halo Reach came out in like what 2010, and I have my own 360 console, my own Xbox Live Gold
yeah, it's
membership,
2010.
and you know I just got all that like access for the very like first time in 2011. So um before we started high school, like our summer was wrapping up and stuff. You know, I just graduated middle school. I have my 360. I'm popping that copy of Halo Reach, and I play the campaign, love it, and then I get to the what you call it. I get to doing firefight because I wasn't really that good at multiplayer at the time, and in fact, I kind of hated it just because like I sucked at playing multiplayer, and all I would do is play firefight online on easy. And I remember I got into a random match with somebody, and I see this gamer tag. It says Crazy Guy 24/7. So you know he's kind of like coaching me through the game and like how to play it, and you know I can level up if I play it on a harder difficulty with a few people and other stuff. And it was like an immediate like cool online like friendship. And I remember adding him immediately. He added me back, and we just started talking. So as we were talking, I we started like getting familiar with each other, start asking asking about each other and all this other stuff. And it turns out that he's both in California, just like I was at the time, and we were both in the city of Rancho Cucamonga. So I was like, oh, that's really cool knowing that like we're in the same like city area and stuff. But I thought he was a little older than me, so I was like, oh, you're probably like a senior in high school or starting college, right? And he was like, no, I'm actually starting my freshman year at Los Osos, and I didn't even say the school name. So the fact that he had said that, and it was already a coincidence that we were like in the same town, same city, kind of like area. I was like, oh shit, like we gotta meet up, we gotta hang out and stuff. Um, so we had to like, but like we didn't think to like plan out where we were going to meet each other. So the summer ends, and I get to like my first day of high school, and I don't know who this guy is, and I completely forgot to like message him and ask where he want to meet up at school on our first day and stuff. And I didn't find him, so I go to my classes, and I think one of my it was like maybe like third or fourth period or something like that, but I had my English class, and everybody's introducing themselves, and we're all getting familiar with each other and stuff, and I hear a familiar voice. So I kind of like go up to the guy, and I just ask him. I was like, hey, like on a hunch, I'm just kind of I sorry if this is weird, but I was like, do you play Xbox 360? And he was like, yeah, I do. And I was like, yeah, I was like, your voice sounds kind of familiar. Would you happen to be a guy at Crazy Guy 24/7 on Xbox? And he was like, yeah, looking at me. And I was like, oh, it's me, Legit Delight. Like we played on Xbox a few times. And he was like, the first, and I remember he looked at me and he goes, "You're black." Like just like out of like a like yeah, he was like, "You're black." Like out of shock. And I was like, yeah, like it didn't bother me that he asked that, because I was like, oh, I guess I have like that, 750 credit score prodigy of voice at the time. Brought, he hears my voice, and I was like, yeah, that's me. And Stephanie was like, oh, okay. And then he introduced himself as Paul, and I was like, oh, okay. So, you know, it was funny because it's like now it was everything like this is like the beginning and like the start of the friendship, to especially to like you guys, where I met Paul through playing a match of Halo Reach Firefight, and then that came the coincidences was not only did we live in the same state and city, but we were both freshmen going into to high school, and we we had the same one of the same classes together. And then at the end of the day, I think it was like about a week of us hanging out. Then I hear rumors about the gamers club and stuff, and he was already in that shit. So he just introduced me to you guys, or at least Curtis here, through the chat. And I remember when he went to he when he went to go bring me to Curtis, 'cause I remember him saying your name. I don't know how Paul knew you, but you maybe I don't know if you remember, but maybe in a minute you can chime in on that. But I remember him bringing me to you, and because like this is like where I would say maybe like a week or two after like meeting Paul, we played a couple of games on Xbox Live together. Especially since he invited me to your guys' like Xbox Live at the time when James and stuff was on and active. And we had talked a little bit, and then he had brought me to meet you at like for the gamers club and stuff. And I remember you seeing me for the first time, and you were like, "You're black." I remember you, and it was like a little funny giggle you had, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm black, but yeah, I'm legit delight." And I feel like that was like it didn't at the time, it didn't bother me, nor did it like cross my mind that like, yeah, like you guys had asked me about my race or skin color. It was just one of those things where it's like it just kind of was like I was kind of used to that, because like I even remember being on Xbox Live, and like we would make other friends online and stuff, and I would just like immediately like ask them, or not even immediately, but sometimes I would just ask them like, what do you think my skin color is, or like what do you think I am, because just based off the sound of my voice. And like everybody, like other people would just assume that I was like some like some white dude. Like it was like a no brainer. And then when I would let them know like no, I'm actually black, and then we like trade like social medias and stuff, and they would see like my pictures. They're like, oh shit. So I just thought that was like really funny at that time. Like just like testing people if they can tell I guess I don't know like when I talk to other black people and like they question like my voice and they're like yeah you don't sound black. I like my question is I'm like what do black people sound like please tell me. So I don't know, I guess we do have some kind of distinct like voice, but I don't know, I just thought it was hilarious. But yeah, that's I would say Paul introducing me to you was like literally the start of the friendship that we have now, and it's been kind of like a long what 15-year journey, or is it? Has it been? Has it? No, high school wasn't 15 years ago for us, was it? That's
Yeah.
2011. Oh,
Yeah,
it
15 years
was.
ago.
It will be this
Yeah,
August. This August is
14
15
and a
years
half
ago.
technically.
y-
Yeah, this August will because that's
yeah.
what that was
Yeah.
our. Oh my God. Oh, we probably didn't all meet each other until like maybe like a month in. So I'd say like around September-ish. Maybe even later for
Yeah.
some other
Yeah.
friends too. But oh my God, we've been friends for 15 fucking years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's crazy.
You feel old now, don't you?
You know, it's like I think about it sometimes and I'm like, yeah, I kind of feel old. And then there are other days where it's like I don't like feel anything. It's just kind of like, there are some days where high school literally does feel
Yeah.
like yesterday. I don't know if that's normal.
I
Oh,
don't feel the same way.
give
High
it
school
some
feels like
time, and you'll start
forever.
saying that. Just give it some time, and you'll start saying that your back is all you feel every day.
I'm feeling it now, but not as bad as I guess other people are. So I'm not only lucky, I'm still plenty of young to
Depends how healthy you are too. It's not just age.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I mean, we're still young in like most ways, so I
Well,
don't
yeah,
really feel it.
we're still like I don't feel it yet. But what is that you, Willie? Are you feeling it in your back right now?
Oh, all the time, man. But that's just because of the work I do.
Yeah, throwing boxes all day, I
Yeah,
bet.
sometimes I'll get lower back pain.
I get
I
lower and mid back pain.
I got like a little knot on my freaking like right side of my of my lower back, and I feel that sometimes. So I have to like content like stretch and pop it. But yeah, yeah, I guess we're the old boys now. We're getting old, guys. Sorry.
And you
Yeah,
know, it's weird is that we're technically Gen Z.
Not me. I'm
yeah.
96.
We're like the first year of Gen Z, so we're like elder Gen Z. Oh, that's right. You're still millennial.
I mean,
Hey, it
let's
doesn't
be
really
real.
matter.
It really
Is it
doesn't matter because
96 or is it 95 for the end of millennium?
96 is the last year of the millennial, but it doesn't matter because I was literally born in November, like on the butt end of the the millennial. So I'm like, I can claim to be a millennial, but realistically, I grew up with Gen
Yeah,
Zer, so it doesn't really
it's the end
matter.
of November too, so
Yeah, end of November, like that's like it's like me saying I'm a 90s kid and I was like born in
1 month left. Yeah,
1999. Like imagine it's like I'm born in 1999 on December 20 or what 30. Wait, how many months do we have or how many days do we have in December? 30 or 31? I can't remember. 31, right? 31 days in December.
Everyone.
he goes 31. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like imagine me saying like I'm a 90s kid and I was
You
born
know,
in
there is a
1999
real
and yeah, I was born in
there is a real way to kind of
1999.
test if you're a 90s kid, though.
Well, I mean, kinda. I'm kind of a '90s kid because I was born 1996. But
Like if
I
you can
like
you can ask
the first
any
four
of
years of my
the
life don't really count because I don't really remember those. So I can't say oh I recall this from the '90s. You know, other than the fact that I had a PS1 and I was playing
well, you
that
might
back in
not
like
be able to recall it from the 90s, but yeah, no, you might not be able to recall it. Like, oh yeah, I watched that back in '96. Like bullshit, right? But
yeah I feel like
You
it
can
would.
still be grown up as a '90s kid if everything you were growing up around was uh, '90s media.
I mean,
Like
don't get me wrong,
you
because a
ask
lot of
any
'90s media
Gen
did
Z
go
kid
into like the early
from the middle of Gen
2000s,
Z,
and I do remember watching shows from like the '90s that were in the
yeah.
early 2000s. So I guess I could say that. Like I had a lot of hate watching Hey Arnold and shit like that, SpongeBob and all that stuff, like pure straight up '90s
Well, not
shows.
even just Hey Arnold, but like, oh, SpongeBob. SpongeBob doesn't count. That's like a timeless thing. That's gone across generations.
Well,
But
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
same
clear
with like The
difference. There's a
Simpsons.
clear difference from
Unless you're
'90s
trying to like,
SpongeBob and
oh,
modern
hey,
SpongeBob.
which version of The Simpsons did you listen to? What voice? Yeah, yeah. There is a clear difference, but using SpongeBob itself wouldn't be really the demographic I'd go for. What I'd say is like, hey, if you're really a '90s kid, what did you grow up watching? Did Hey Arnold's one of them, I guess, but then you could go and lead it into, okay, well, did you ever get to watch Ren and Stimpy? Did you
Yeah,
watch Rocco's Modern Life?
yeah, I did.
Shit that came out early '90s,
Yeah,
early
yeah,
to mid '90s, right?
yeah.
If you ask a Gen Z kid from like that was born like 2001, did you watch this stuff? He probably didn't.
No, no, most likely not.
He might have. Some of them might have, but most likely they didn't. This that's when. Yes, I know I'm Gen Z.
Is
If your
is
girlfriend
Kelly
wanted to butt
asked?
in on the
She was
conversation,
she is she questioning about you
That's
being
okay.
Gen
Have
Z?
her join.
Oh,
she's
that's
like,
funny.
"Babe, you are Gen Z, right?" I'm like, we're not questioning that. We know we are, but you can be grown up on all that '90s stuff. I wouldn't consider. Um, it's a weird thing to think of yourself as Gen Z. I just think of myself as a '90s kid.
mm, um, what about okay? What's like your guys' early memory of like gaming? Cause for me, playing video games was like my earliest memory of like the first game that I could have. I was probably like around like 5 or 6 years old, maybe a little bit like younger, but I remember going to like the laundry mats with my mom and playing like Street Fighter 2 or Marvel vs. Capcom like on those like old um like arcade stands that you can just like, throw in 25 cents and play like a round or two of those games. And that's like the earliest I can remember, but when it comes to like a console, I specifically remember having a PS1, and I do have it somewhere to this day. I had a PS1, and I was playing some like really shitty like PS1 exclusive. The best way I can describe it, it was like you were some kid with a bubble gun, and it was like you had this scientist that like got taken away by like some kind of like robot or monster or something, and you're like running to like these like rooms, like shooting them with these little bubblegum trapping the monsters, and like that was like it was like kind of like a platformer in a way, almost like similar to like Crash Bandicoot in the way it was played. But I just remember it being like cool. But I remember looking this game up later down the line, and it was like a horrible PS1 like exclusive game. And that was like, and on top of that, the other game I was playing Tekken with my aunt. So I would like be uh what's that robot looking dude with the sword? If you remember, if you've ever played Tekken,
You talking about you're talking about Rascal, weren't you?
is that the game Rascal? The
That
bubble.
PS1 game, you're talking about Rascal, weren't you?
He has a little bubble gun, right? And he like
Yeah,
captures like,
Rascal.
yeah, I had
Yeah, with the bubble
Rascal.
gun.
Yeah, I had Rascal. Is that the
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wow.
He's trying to go save his father.
Is that what he was doing? Hold on, I'm gonna look this up, Rascal, because I haven't. I let me see PS1 Rascal. I'm gonna look this up. Let me see if this is. It is. It is Rascal. Oh my god. I remember this game was so bad. This game was awful. Oh my goodness. In 1998. So yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of those games on PlayStation 1.
Oh
I
my
even went
god.
into PlayStation 2 where there was just so many bad games, but
But
they were just
PlayStation 2
iconic
has
for the
like
time.
PlayStation 2 has a lot of iconic and great games as well. But yeah, so this was my earliest console, and this is like the
Oh yeah,
most
absolutely.
memorable game that I could remember playing on the PS1, like when I was home alone, or not home alone, but at home, not playing video games with anybody. So it was Rascal, and it was me like just playing the arcade modes of Tekken on my original PS1. Now, however, so I a few years later, like in like my life when I turned 7 years old, my mom had just like married my stepfather, my younger brother's biological dad, and he gives me the freaking like upgrade of a lifetime. So it's my seventh birthday. This is like what 2003 now, and he just I opened my presents and stuff after like hanging out with the family, playing with some friends and the other kids and stuff, and I opened up the one of the gifts because he got me like one gift and it was cool. He didn't even have to, but it was like the biggest box there. I open it up and I I see this console. It was the original Xbox as like my new like upgraded console. So it's like I didn't know what it was, and I remember him teasing me about it, and he was like, "Oh, here's this Xbox for you." And I got you a copy of Halo. So this is also the introduction to like me getting into shooters as well. So I'm looking at this Xbox. It's
Oh,
cool as
okay.
shit. Um, and I also see this cover of like Master Chief holding the assault rifle. There's a banshee coming. It's the cover for Halo Combat Evolved, and I just remember seeing it. I'm like so stoked and excited because I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna pop this bitch in and I'm gonna play it. Like that's all I wanted to do. So party ends, it wraps up. We set up the Xbox and stuff, and I remember him teasing me about it. He was just like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait for you to see the flood," and I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what he was talking about. I was just like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And as like he kept teasing me about it, we're setting up the console, we plug it in, and I get that iconic original Xbox like startup where it's like you see a little like molecule or something like forming, and it turns into the Xbox, and then you get that iconic like green menu, and we open up the tray, we put the Combat Evolve disc in, and it loads up. When I got to the menu of that thing, I was blown away because it was such a big like graphical like upgrade to me, where it was like I've never seen like a giant metal ring before where it has like the plant, like it looks like planet Earth on the inside of it. And like that was like that shit was like, what am I looking at? This is cool compared to like looking at the poly like the polygram characters on PS1,
Polygons,
like
yeah.
yeah, the polygons and stuff. Like I'm actually seeing like 3D models and stuff. And then it's like while me and my stepfather at the time were playing the game and just like shooting aliens and stuff, I've never seen it. It was just like like holy crap. And not only that, like I noticed something different too. Like these weren't just like characters that just stood there and then wait for me to get close and then they reacted. This was like if you ever pay attention to like the elites, like how like they react to you, how they see you and how they move and stuff, it's like a pretty smart like AI system that they had for the enemies, and it's like I've never seen like an elite like or like not an elite but like an enemy where like I throw a grenade at it and they look and they roll out of the way and start firing, and then they start moving in different directions to make it like hard for me to kill them. Like I would like the AI, the graphics, and everything was just like it was just mind blowing. Like I couldn't believe what I was playing, and that right there was like the start of like my Xbox kind of like, or really just like my gaming journey. Because like after playing Halo 1 and beating that with my stepfather, that was like something that I did every fucking weekend. It was just like delete my save and to just replay Combat Evolve. And I just played that thing like it was a religion for me. And it was really cool because I never had like an experience like that. And like the more I gamed on this Xbox console, it was like oh, it was just it was like a new world every single time. So it's like, yeah, like imagine. Oh, and that was another thing. Like, if you remember back on like the PlayStation 1s and PS2s, you had to have a memory card to save your games, right? You remember that, right? The little like chip that you would plug in into like the front of the console.
Yeah, and they're only like 8 megabytes or 16 megabytes, and then you can go buy the little dongles that plug in. You can expand it by like four memory cards.
So,
Back when they went and they actually categorized your memory based off of blocks on a little grid.
yep. So, I didn't know anything about this at the time, but Xbox was like the first console to have like a SATA drive in the actual system. So, I remember like I would lose some of my memory cards sometimes because I was like pretty messy as a kid, and sometimes like I would like this take apart my PlayStation to store it away. So like if we were moving or I had to do like a big cleanup day or something, I would do that and I would lose that shit. So like sometimes I would have to like get a whole new memory card, plug that shit in, and start over from like whatever game I was playing. And when I got that Xbox, I didn't know anything about like the memory cards on there. I just started playing and like my games were saving. Like it was one of that was like another like revolutionary thing for me. Was like I would load up my Xbox and continue off where I was playing without needing like a whole new like memory card or anything. And I it was like it was almost like it made life simpler for me. Like all I did was just turn on the game, put in the disc, and I just played. And then like I didn't have to worry about getting to like the next save location, or even if I did, I would still have to do like this whole segment later again just so I can get to the next save. It was just like I remember I turn on the game, get to the menu, hit continue, and I was like right where I left off. It was like whoa for me. Like that's what the Xbox was. And it, it's like when I played other games on there and had that same experience, like, playing other shooters or third party games. Like, I was also playing games like Blinks the Time Sweeper, if you remember that one, where you're playing, that was supposed to be Xbox's original mascot. The fucking, the cat with like a
I remember
vacuum.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. So I,
yeah.
I was playing that, and that game to this day
I remember
actually
playing that back
still
in the day.
it still looks good to this day. Like if you actually look it up and like look at like the water like features in that game, it's like it's actually like really nice. And it's like, oh shit. Like Xbox was like the fucking graphical powerhouse at that time.
Huh. I haven't played
And
it in years.
yeah, I played it like cuz they brought it back for like the backwards compatibility on Xbox thing, and it's like, yeah, if you look at it, even Phantom Dust still looks like pretty good. Like you can tell it's dated, but it's like for its time. Like imagine seeing that was like a great looking game. Um, but yeah, it was that. And then what happened? So uh,
Yeah,
you
not even like itself, but like you gotta take a moment to just appreciate how well they built the Xbox software. Like if you go back and you look at it, right, it was colorful. It was it popped out at you. Maybe it was dated, yeah, but um, they really put like they put their hearts into that. But then you look at it nowadays, and it's just like, oh, we got boxes in a grid, and yeah,
like
you got ads now.
you look at it now and it's kind of like, oh wow, this is like a cheap design, this is like whatever. But when you were experiencing that for the first time back in like, let's say 2001, 2002, 2003, all the way to like 2005, right? That was like the fucking shit. Like if you had an Xbox, you were having like premium gaming, even like a little more so than PC gamers at the time, because like people weren't like actively buying and building new computers like we are today. So it was like, playing on Xbox was that shit, or even playing on the PS2, because the PS2 was also a graphical powerhouse for itself. Not as much as the original Xbox, but it was definitely the console that still sold more and had those exclusives like ready for people to play. You know, so kind of
I feel
like
like the exclusives on PlayStation were really powerful though back then.
they
Like
were they were.
it,
It's
there's
what
there's like
defined that console was its exclusives, its timeless
yeah,
exclusives.
like you had like my top three favorites were Jack and Daxter,
Jack and Daxter,
Ratchet and Clank,
exactly.
and and Sly Cooper,
Yeah,
Thievius
and
Raccoonus.
I,
it's funny. I've
Sly
never
Cooper
played a
was one of
Sly
those I
Cooper
didn't
game.
play, but I loved Ratchet and Clank.
Ugh.
Yeah, me
Like
either.
I loved those games.
Uh,
Ratchet and Clank was probably like one of my most favorites. Um, I wish I could get um like the entire set of games from them and just play it from start to finish. But I mean, I'd have to either emulate everything or figure out how to get all those consoles together to do all that.
Actually, I have it. I think I have it right here behind me. Yeah, I have my PS2 right here, my OG PS2, right behind me,
I still have my PS2.
and I still have my PS1, but it's somewhere boxed up. But yeah, this is my OG PS2. Holy shit! I forgot this thing was right behind me. I have pretty much all the PS consoles except for the PS3 and the PS5.
I had the
Um,
PS3 but never played it.
Really?
Um, it just sat around. It yeah, no, I had an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One, uh, or not Xbox One, but Xbox One X. Um, but I once I hit PC, I just stopped caring about all the other consoles entirely.
yeah,
Honestly, that's what happened.
PlayStation, I mean,
That's what happened to me after the Xbox One. But yeah, we can get into that a little bit
yeah,
later. Oh man,
yeah. Like
that
I started off on I think it was either Nintendo 64 or Super Nintendo. I was a little kid
I
at the
remember
time, and
wanting
I
a,
had that.
I remember wanting a Nintendo 64, but never got it.
We had like I know we for sure we had both of them because we had multiple Nintendo consoles.
Mm.
I don't remember which one I started off on, but we had multiple Nintendo consoles. Like we had get-togethers with the family all the time where all my uncles would meet up at the family house and they'd whip out the old Nintendo, pop in GoldenEye 007 and have four of these remotes coming off of it, and we all be playing GoldenEye on there.
Dang.
Um, but then I went from Nintendo to a PS2. Later on down the line, I acquired a PS1.
Hmm.
Um, I also had Atari and I had a Sega Genesis. The Atari I had like I think like 25, 30 games for it. The Genesis I had around like oh god, at least 20 games for the Genesis. And I had all the attachments for the Genesis and the Atari too. Like I had there's one game for the Genesis where it had like a gun attachment, like a little gun controller that
I
you
know
could
what you're
use.
talking about.
And,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
I
so I
think
had
the Super Nintendo
all
has
that
something
stuff.
like that, and I remember my mom and my uncle were talking about that because I think they had one.
Yeah. I had like all the gaming consoles. I even had the Game Boy Advanced. Um I had a Wii. I didn't have any of the Nintendo DSs or anything like that, but um
I had a DS.
I had the PSP 2000. Man, it's crazy to think I had like all of these different consoles. One of the one main consoles I never personally owned, but I got to play with a lot, was the original Xbox, which is why I didn't get into Halo as early as others did. I did play Halo
dude.
on other people's consoles,
Dude, playing Halo, especially like
which
just that's one thing I do kind of miss about old gaming is couch co-op. Like split screen, yeah, kind of is like sucks, but at the same time, it was like the environment with the person that you were playing with on a kick-ass game at the time was just like was unfucking real. Like I kind of miss those days because like it also reminds me just like of all the good moments I had with my stepfather at the time, and even outside of the Xbox, like when he was playing on that PS2, dude, I could not wait to like get home from school. Like this was my original like Twitch back in the day. Like was just sitting next to my stepdad watching him like kick the shit out of like monsters and stuff in bosses and God of War because I was so intrigued with the story, but then also just watching him figure out and play like a classic game like that. And then like, God of War 2 comes out and like I would get home and he'd surprise me like with like I just hear like some like, Greek like, some ancient music playing and then like he puts in like the little aux cord that turns on like the that shows like the display on your TV and I'll see the title like God of War and I'm like, "Oh, what?" And I'm like just ready to like sit down and just like watch him like play. Like that was like yeah, like I said, that was like my Twitch at the time. It was freaking it was I don't know, there's something that was like really cool and like personal about that. Um and what was I gonna say? It was something like that I like video games so much is also because of just like I get to have like those cool experiences with people who are like interested into like the same game as me, you know, or just like in just games in general because like I was very sheltered from like, pop culture media and stuff, especially when it came to gaming. Like I didn't get into that until pretty much like my high school years. So like I didn't know what E3 was until again, like I would say probably until like the end of like my middle school years. So the way how I would like find out about this stuff with like my stepfather was we would be online or not online because YouTube wasn't like YouTube had just became a thing. My little brother was just born. This is 2005, right? So even then, like video games weren't being like posted or like showed up on there. Like people would just kind of like go on YouTube and look at like funny cat videos and then go on about their day. Like people weren't like like seated to their chairs on YouTube all day like we are like today, right? So I remember well also this is when like cable boxes like started like coming out like direct TV and stuff like that. So what would happen is we would get like direct TV or dish or whatever, like sometimes we'd switch back and forth on the provider. And we would like go on these channels and one of them was Spike TV. I remember being on Spike TV with my stepfather and E3 had popped up on there where there was just like announcing games and stuff like that, showing gameplays and stuff, and I had never seen anything like that before. And I was kind of just like, "Whoa, like this is pretty cool. Like what is this?" You know? Um but yeah, I would see that I would have never seen that kind of stuff. So like I started learning about like newer games and stuff that were coming out for like the Xbox and PS2. And there was this other channel that lasted pretty much until like my freshman year of high school, but it was called G4 TV. I don't know if you guys ever heard or know of that channel, but this is also
Oh,
still
I think you remember. Yeah.
yeah, this was also like at the highlight of like when YouTube was starting to get more popular and like companies were starting to post like video game trailers on there too. But I wasn't like, on YouTube like that, nor was I like, doing anything. So I would go on this channel called G4 TV. And it was like two, I only watched it for like two, like specific shows. One of them was called Attack of a Show, where it was kind of like a talk show, almost like Jimmy Kimmel, but it was like more like modern and like pop culture. And they'll have like little segments where they'll talk about games or like new stuff that's coming out. And then there was another one called X Play. X Play was just straight up like video game news, trailers, some gameplays, and it even had like a segment on like specific games where like if they figured out like a cheat or a glitch, they'll talk about it, and then like people who are like watching it would like rush to their consoles that they had that game and do the same exact like glitch that they saw on TV. So it was like a cool like little program, and that's how like like knew about new stuff that were coming out. And let's say the 360 comes out 2005. This is the same year, so my younger brother is born. We got the 360 that just came out. I'm still on the original Xbox, and we're also on the PS2 as well because the PS3 didn't come out until like a year later. I think it came out in like 2006. Um, but yeah, that was like another like thing was like, oh, we're seeing like this new console, even better graphics and stuff that I've ever seen in my life. And you know, like they didn't my stepfather at the time was like, we just like, the console that we have was still very relevant, so there's no point in trying to get something new, especially since there was like no like new games on there. And we already said hell no to the announcement of the PS3 because the PS3 was going to be like what, $600 at that time, which was like absurd for a fucking console. And I think that it was $300 because it had the Blu-ray, that
Yeah,
1080p Blu-ray or 720p Blu-ray or something like that,
yeah,
which
it
is
had a ton of features and stuff on it. It was
which
actually worth $600 at the time, but they're competing with Xbox.
yeah, and what Xbox was like a $350 console with like a nice HD display on there.
I think it's 400 or something. Yeah,
So it was like, we
yeah,
kind of debated on those, but then like my stepfather at the time, he was kind of cheap. Like he didn't want to get something new, especially since like we had a ton of good games on there to play. So it's like, why not just burn out and use the Xbox up until like we actually need a new console, which made sense because it's like there was the Xbox 360 didn't really have anything other than like Xbox Arcade or something like that, and it was like, okay, well, we got to wait for these games to come out anyways. Um, but yeah, I played Halo 1, played Halo 2, especially with him, and we just enjoyed those games together. And then somehow I remember my aunt, she got like a used Xbox 360, and this is like maybe like a year or so later, so this is like 2006. She's got a used Xbox 360 with a handful of games, and she let us borrow it for like a couple of weeks. And the games she had on there, she had the original Xbox Arcade on there. She had a copy of Halo 2 because I don't know what happened to my original copy. I think we just like used it because we didn't use Xbox Live at the time. So we didn't play like online on the original Xbox. We just like bought games and then returned them, so we can get the credit back and then use that to get a different game. And yeah, that 360 that she got and let us borrow, it had a copy of the X like the how like if you remember when you got the Xbox 360 and it came with like a copy of a game like a bunch of arcade games. It was like the Xbox Arcade like disc. And
Yeah.
yeah, it came with that, had like Uno on there and some other
yeah.
other games and stuff.
I can remember.
So like that it came with that. It came with a copy of Crackdown, and I actually love the original Crackdown. Like no other Crackdown beats that game today. And it came with the
Crackdown.
yeah, the first one, where all you do is just run it through the city, level like upgrade your character and just like beat the shit out of gangs. And I think later
I
in the game
missed
was
that game.
the first one is such a classic. And then there was a copy of Gears of War on there, and we never really like knew anything about these games. We just like kind of just saw them and play, and we'd play on them. So we pop in Gears of War, and we're just super blown away by the graphics, man. Like Gears of War on the original, like on the one of the original Unreal engines. I think that game was made on the Unreal Engine 2, something like that. And I just remember like, and then it also just being like that fun, violent, gory game where we're just like messing each other up. Like that was another like couch uh game that I played with my stepfather, and it was great, man. Just I can't like express like how new. Again, it just brought in a lot of like great memories, but then also just like the best premium like gaming experience that I've ever had in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you? Do you
I
remember
remember
like?
playing Halo 3 with my stepdad.
Oh, dude, you were lucky because I never had to play Halo 3 with myself. I'll explain why. But we played Gears of War.
This
We
was like
played.
long after, like in 20.
Oh, so yeah, but yeah, we this is like it was just another new experience. It's like it was like experience. It was like how I got the original Xbox for the first time all over again. Like I'm seeing newer games, better graphics, um, and a new like fun experience that like kind of just revolutionized gaming for me. So we make our accounts on that Xbox, we play it, and we just have a lot of fun with it. And right when um my stepfather returned the 360 back to my aunt, I remember it was like less than like a week later, he just went and bought a brand new Xbox, and we just started gaming on that shit. And we were just we just played a bunch of timeless classics on there. Like we played the original BioShock. I watched him play that. I watched him play a few other games. We got Gears of War 2 on there, and we played the shit out of that, beat the campaign together, and it was just like the time of my life at that. Like just playing those classics with my stepdad. Now, this is the part where I got kind of I still kind of like hold a little bit of like a grudge about it to this day, but we're now like reaching 2007. Or we're in 2007 now. Halo 3 is the talk of the fucking town. Like it's I remember going to see Superman Returns in theaters, and there was an actual Halo 3 trailer playing on there. And like I would see it on the news cuz like I would wake up in the morning, get ready for school, and just like kind of get the heads up on like the 210 traffic going from Fontana to Claremont. Um we'll turn on the news just to see what the traffic is going to be like and what the weather was going to be like for the day. And they'll have like a segment where they start talking about Halo 3. And I was just like, I know he's going to get it because we got the 360. Like we've already played the first two games together. I can't wait. You know, and as it gets closer to release, there's like billboards I'm seeing like getting on the freeway headed back home, and we're seeing like just Halo 3 billboards, and it's like, oh my god, this is fucking hype. Like this is the coolest shit ever. I like and you got the whole slogan of like finish the fight up there. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait. Halo 3 comes out, and my stepfather decides not to get the game. And I was so confused at that time because I was like, we played Halo, we enjoyed it. I was like, you know what? It's okay. Like he'll probably get it like later, like maybe in like a week or two, or like when the hype comes down for it, or if they have more in stock. Whatever, he didn't pre-order. It's cool. Still didn't decide to play it, and he just focused on just getting other games and stuff. And I was like, hey, look, like Halo 3 is a talk of the town. Like it's that game. I think we should just get it and just get the I don't even care about playing the multiplayer. I just wanted to finish like the story of Master Chief. That's all I wanted to do. And he was just like, nah, like he just didn't care. And I was just like so kind of bummed out because I would go to like other friends' house, and they'll have a copy of Halo 3, and they're playing online. They're having like the best experience. And I'm just sitting there just kind of like watching them. I would probably like take the controller and play like a match or two. Or like we'll start the campaign, and I'd only play like maybe like 20 minutes of it, and then I'd have to like go home or something. So like I never had like the Halo 3 experience. And then a few years down the line, some things happen, and then my mom and stepfather they divorce. So when that had happened, he ended up giving us his Xbox 360, and now this is where like the beginning of my Xbox or online experience really like kicks in. So we get to what is it? We get to is this is now 2010, and before I met you guys. And I take his Xbox and I finally hook up to Xbox Live for the first time. Like, or what it was, I didn't have gold yet. It was like Xbox Silver. So like there was like certain games that had like just like co-op features that you could play on, but it wasn't like you could like enter any kind of Xbox Live chat or anything. You could just only play like just like these certain games co-op, and that was it. And it was still cool because I still had access to like the Xbox Marketplace.
Yeah,
If
and
you,
then if you wanted to play like market, like
yeah,
yeah,
so I still had the Marketplace experience, and I had demos. So, oh, actually, you know what? Let me take it back a little bit. Going back to the whole G4 TV thing, that was another great experience of like how I learned about video games because that was also how I found out about one of my favorite all-time like classic horror games, Dead Space. I remember me and my stepdad were watching X Play and they were talking about Dead Space and we were blown away by the fact of like you can do you remember those like zero gravity rooms where you can like jump from like room like wall to wall and stuff like that? In the if you've ever played the original Dead Space, I don't know if you have, but there was that we saw that and I remember going
yeah,
like we were like, yo, that was fucking cool. And I remember because the game came out pretty close to Halloween. I remember it's like, and daylight savings kicks in. It's nighttime, and I remember getting home one day, and he had just got a fresh copy of Dead Space. I remember like he was just like, yeah, Dead Space, and I was like, oh shit. So I remember just like running, like getting myself cleaned up and shit, and then like literally throwing my ass into that couch just to watch him like play it. Great like horror game experience to watch, and then like spoiler alert if you guys never played Dead Space before, um you're kind of on this ship where you're looking for like your girlfriend while trying to figure out like what's the deal with these necromorphs and stuff. That's what the aliens are called. And at the end of the game, you fight like this big alien necromorph, and then you escape the planet that you're dropping a part of like because I think the Ishimura, the big planet or the big spaceship that you're on throughout most of the game, it has it's a mining rock, so it's like you have a giant part of like the planet that you're on that like hanging from the ship. So you would like drop. So at the end of the game, like you kind of drop the that big ass like piece of rock back onto the planet and it acts like an asteroid and kind of like destroys the planet. So you escape and all that shit. And if you remember, like you keep getting like this message of like your girlfriend about to like uh unalive herself, and your character kind of turns it off and is just like, okay, I'm like, I survived whatever. And he hears something, looks to the side, and he sees like a corpse and it's her body, and she kind of like jump scares you at the end of the game. I remember when that had happened in that moment, me and my stepfather like both like we got so scared from that we didn't like we couldn't even let out a scream. Like it was like a shock. Like it just made us jump. Like we were just like, oh, like we kind of looked at each other like, what, like did the character just die? And that was the end of the game. So like it was just, I don't know, like just something about that like moment in gaming, and then just like experience that with like on the couch with like somebody was just, that was like in my experience that was peak gaming. And I don't know, I loved it. But going forward now, I have his Xbox. We're on the Xbox Live Marketplace, and there's a demo for Dead Space 2. And I knew, I was like, I have to play this. Like I'm not prone to playing a scary game, but I need to play this. So I remember downloading it because I now have like access to like Xbox Silver, where you can download games or demos or whatever. And I'm playing this demo, and it's just the scariest like demo. I couldn't even beat it, but like I was able to like play it and just enjoy it for that time. And that was like the introduction of me like having some like Xbox online experiences, like playing demos and trying some and trying betas. That was another thing. So I knew like when it came to like my birthday coming up those years, I wanted to get Xbox Live, and I wanted to what was it? I wanted to get Xbox Live, and I also wanted to get like some games. So before I did that though, we ended up giving back his Xbox because me and my younger brother also had the Nintendo Wii. So we were just, we didn't really, and Nintendo Wii had free online, so there were certain games that all I needed to do was just connect to the internet, and it was good from there. Like I was able to play certain games like Super Smash Bros. Brawl online, and then uh there was some other like like really crappy like Nintendo shooters that I would play on there, but it was also like I played games like the Metal Slug collection and stuff on there. So we gave my ex stepfather his Xbox 360 back, and then we move into Rancho Cucamonga, and I get my first Xbox 360 Slim. This is when like the Kinect and stuff was getting announced and all that. So
Ooh.
um, yeah, so again, now I'm getting another upgrade, another like Xbox upgrade, and this is now my personal Xbox. So I set up my account and I couldn't remember my account name, and I thought I had remembered it, and I just like re-uploaded it, but I ended up just creating a new account instead. Remember, I was like pretty ignorant to like Xbox Live, like accounting, like creating, and also like just Xbox Live in general. So my original Xbox account that I played with my stepfather, the account was called Legit Distress, and I completely forgot that. I thought it was like I thought I remembered the name, so I remembered I thought Legit Delight was the name, and I was like, okay, well, let me just get on and just type it in and like manually type it in and like find my account, and I did, and or I didn't find my account. I just created Legit Delight, and it was a brand new account with not all this other stuff. So after getting that Xbox and also getting Slim, I just started stacking up my games. This is like at the peak of like when Skate 3 was around. I played the original Modern Warfare. I finally went to GameStop and got my own personal copy of like Halo 3, like a used copy of Halo 3, because like I still hadn't played it at that point and I wanted to beat that game so bad. So, um I get it for like $8. I play Halo 3, loved it,
Yeah.
fell in love with that game, and then I connect to Xbox Live for the first time. So I was like, okay, I missed out on a lot of the hype of Halo 3, but I still wanted to play it. So I finally get Xbox Live, I hook it up, and I start playing Lone Wolves, which is free for all for Halo at the time. That's just what Halo had a lot of like nicknames for their stuff. Whereas like other games was like they made it simple and just said, oh, you have team deathmatch or free for all and all that other stuff. But for 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 Halo, it was always something like kind of like different. So I remember popping in that, and I would play Halo, just play the crap out of Halo 3 multiplayer. On top of, I would, okay, if I got tired of playing like Halo 3, or at least a multiplayer, I'd get into like custom games and play with some randoms and stuff. Or I'd even like start like testing myself and like upping the
You're like cutting
difficulty.
out.
Oh, how do I sound right now? Hello?
You like cut out momentarily and come back in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you miss a lot?
No,
Did
like you'll cut out for literally like 2 or 3 seconds and come back in.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Where was I? Where was I? Where did I leave? Where did I last leave off then? Because I forgot what I
Yeah.
was saying.
No idea.
Okay. I think I was still talking about Halo 3. Um. Okay. Yeah, I remember now. I would up the difficulty.
It's your show.
Yeah, I would up the difficulty on Halo 3 and it's like go from like easy to normal, then
Yeah, you're cutting
heroic.
out again.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's annoying.
Where it's like other games was like they made it simple and said, oh, you have team deathmatch or free for all and all that other stuff. But for Halo, it was always something
Okay, Jordan, not to cut you off again.
You said what?
You're like super quiet.
Well, I'm not
Oh, is
really
that your
talking.
feedback from your stream?
Yeah, that was like
Oh, that's
feedback.
funny.
Yeah, that
Okay.
wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't even talking. So my bad. So I
Okay.
was like, I
No,
was
that's
trying
all
to
right.
see if I was cutting out or if that was something on the end, but I'm looking. I'm on my end. I'm not cutting out at all. So like I can hear myself.
What do you think of that new Steam controller?
Didn't really pay attention to it yet, but I'll check that
It
out in a
looks pretty
second.
cool. It's really like, yeah,
Oh. Um. Oh yeah. So Halo 3. Yeah, I just remember just updating or upping the difficulty on the campaign until like I literally beat all the difficulties. And yeah, and then I'd go back and forth playing Dead Space 2, Skate 3. Skate 3 was like peak gaming for me at that time. Um
yeah.
Playing on
That was such
the
a good era.
There's such so many great games at that time. And this is all like right before I met you
Yeah,
guys. So I ended then I I finally get my copy of Halo Reach like back in 2011 over the summer, or maybe I got it closer to towards my birthday just because I had some like summer money from working with my grandpa. But yeah, that's what happened. I ended up getting like a used copy and it was like $30 at the time. I didn't pay full price for it. So I remember playing Halo Reach, getting that campaign, and then eventually meeting Paul and then you guys. So
yeah,
that was like the greatest, like just some from 7 years old getting my original Xbox and going all the way to playing on the what was it, and then playing on 360. That up until like I met you guys and going forward, like those were like the best gaming years of like my life. Like everything was always just revolutionary, and then like I got to just experience something new. And then, of course, like do
yeah,
the same experiences that I had with my stepdad, I gave that to my younger brother. Like I play these games with them and spend time with them and do these kinds of things the same way his dad did with me. So it was another bonding like experience with those things. And it's like they now we have game companies that don't make games like they used to. So it's like you can't have like that couch experience anymore.
yeah. I also think it's nostalgia because there are some good games that come out, but it doesn't feel the same.
It doesn't feel the same, no. But no, but it's like still that couch
Yeah.
that couch like experience is still great because if you remember that one French guy who like makes games for EA, he did like A Way Out and It Takes Two. Like you can play those games online, but
Oh,
you can
okay.
also play those on the couch. And me and Nicholas, or my younger brother, we played we played A Way Out together on my PC, and it was like it was that game brought back nostalgia for like couch gameplay, and it was great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I want to like figure out like a new way of gaming instead of just our own solitary PCs. Because like, ironically, even though PCs technically and objectively the best gaming experience, there's just something missing. Like, it'd be cool. Like, say you still lived out here and we all had Steam decks and we meet up like once a week or so, and we'd basically have our own LAN parties, but something that's portable like a Switch. Remember when we took our Switches to Popeyes at one time and we played Dark Souls co-op?
yeah,
You remember that?
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you're cutting out again, I guess. What the fuck is going on?
Are you sure it's me?
I'm back on my PC now.
I might have some
It's
latency.
Yeah,
it is Jordan that's cutting out. It's
yeah,
yeah, latency or
Yeah,
something.
okay, it
But yeah,
has to be.
you are
Yeah,
cutting
it
out a
has to
little
be
bit here
some
and there.
latency because because I'm also kind of like reviewing
I
it to
just
make
did.
sure, like just to make sure it's not just like
Yeah.
me cutting out because like you guys are coming through like really well on my end, especially like with me like talking to you guys. So I don't see anything cutting out, but I think it's just a latency issue transferring to you guys. So
Yeah, I just didn't bring it up because I was like, okay, well, it's probably just something going on with the internet. But if you're recording, your thing's picking up your voice just fine.
yeah. So okay, I guess it's just cutting out. I'm just cutting out on you guys, but oh well. Maybe
Yeah,
yeah. Obviously, when I stop the stream,
nothing new there.
Well, my bad. um.
No, it is what it is.
You
I
know.
could understand you just fine. I just noticed there's like a fucking 3 to 5 second delay between when I say something and you understand I said it.
I did notice that too. I was kind of feeling that. So like there'll be times like where like I'll hear you start talking and I stop and then like you stop talking and then I'll start talking again and then you start talking. So it's like yeah. Ugh. But yeah. Oh gosh, what was I gonna say? I'm gonna take a little bit of a break because I do have some pork belly smoking on my smoker, which I forgot to tell you, Curtis. I did fix that thing by the way.
I'll be right back.
So I'll be right back, and I'm gonna take a little bit of an intermissions. Okay, I am back.
Welcome, Black.
Yeah, that's good.
I fucking dead. I died. I fucking died. I'm fucking dead, mate. Son of a bitch. I
Anyone
can
there?
say bitch, right?